Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We are here with Destinian and the rest. Let's see. Tiamat waits this way. Okay, let's go meet Tiamat. Of course, I have to walk myself. See you guys there. Just real quick. This always looks so crazy. Like just that huge dragon. It's so sad, man. Wait, where's the location here? That's so sad. I'm just restricted here forever. Whoops, sorry.
It's plain she knows naught of recent events. Perhaps you should enlighten her.
Oh my god, she takes so long.
I've seen it with my own eyes. Captives of a lost empire, neither alive nor dead, existing only to preserve Bahamut's corporeal form.
Your children's pain means nothing to them. They laugh at your kind suffering. But tears will not right this wrong, nor will lamentation see the perpetrators punished. Behavior befitting a great worm. We came here to ask mighty Tiamat of the First Brood, consort of Bahamut, mother of the dragons of Mericidia, what she intends to do about the crimes committed against her children.
My vote.
Santalan infan antosk, Kosh lent an. Ale o es an in, ale kum ak in.
You too were exposed to his influence. That you are yet in possession of your own will is testament to the indomitable strength of your soul. But were you to meet with Bahamut again, you fear you might succumb.
Snoska Dramon King, Nestra in Iles Nesh An Ala Unmik Nalstra Ul Antal An Smon Tahi An.
On the matter of Bahamut's influence, at least, I believe we can be of some assistance. If you're afraid of being enthralled, don't be. We have a cure. And while we've never tried it on one such as you, its basic principles are universal.
Usk she's in.
There is no future for those bound to the past. That you committed a terrible sin, I do not dispute. But if you feel remorse, you may yet make amends. We offer you that chance. Take it, or you will forever remain a prisoner, not of these cruel shackles, but of your own guilt.
Sahaan, Seth Soul, Kin Bahamut, and Sumon, Na An Inles, Snaloles Dish An, Na Ala An Ul An Sin An, Stan In.
Well, that is quite something. But can we free her somehow? While policies have been shown to be effective in curing the tempered, Tiamat must be considered a special case. She is far, far larger and immeasurably more powerful than any subject treated thus far. Were we to remove her restraints only to find that the process had failed, we would be hard-pressed to contain her. Then before going ahead, we should learn as much as we can about the exact nature of her condition. Do you suppose we can find that information here? Why, yes, we can. We can indeed. The Elegants kept detailed records on all of their notable captives, and I know exactly where to look. We shall leave that to you then. In the meantime, the rest of us can turn our thoughts to the removal of those shackles. I know Elfin and Lura are here well enough, but not you. Are you certain you're ready to see this through? Rest assured, Sir Estinian, that I am both ready and willing to give my all for the sake of this star, though that is not my only reason for wanting to set Tiamat free. While I do not claim to know all of her sorrows, I too once found myself in a prison of despair, and I well understand how hard it can be to dare to dream of escape. It took the encouragement of braver souls than I am to make me take the first step towards a brighter future. Now I would help Tiamat do the same. I gather you are not as young as you look. Mayhap when our work here is done, we could trade tales over a pot of Tartarus' famous tea. And be indebted to her for the leaves and hot waters, I think not. I see. Returning swiftly to the task at hand then. I believe the notes governing Tiamat's restraints are located in the sector known as the flagship. Ah yes, we are familiar with it. The Etherochemical Research Facility in particular. Oh, you may wish to take this, a spirit vessel containing a small amount of my blood. Which you just happen to be carrying around with you. I suppose that could seem rather odd. To explain, Brambros, Uriyoshi and I are researching the use of spirit vessels and the transference not only of memories, but the traits of certain bloodlines. And so I keep one at the ready should an opportunity to test our theories arise. As for its use to you, you may recall that during our previous visit, the nodes here granted access to restricted functions, having identified me as being of royal blood. And armed with that spirit vessel, I posit that they will do the same for you, even in the absence of, well, the rest of me. It seemed worth a try at least. And that's pretty smart. Agreed, we will take good care of it. Well, I hope so. To the flagship then. Alrighty. To the flagship we go. And there we are. Let us split up and search the flagship for the node that controls Tiamat's restraints. But should you find a likely candidate, do not be tempted to make any adjustments. It would not do to accidentally release some manner of experimental monstrosity, nor less Tiamat herself in her current state. Our objective at this stage is simply to identify the relevant node or nodes. Once we have learned that what we can, we should reconvene and compare notes prior to proceeding. Okay, let's go do that. Alrighty, so one of the notes was talking about the dragon restraint, so I guess that one is probably the right one. I'm afraid Estinian and I have little to show for our efforts. Did you find anything? I did. A note which smelled like burnt hair. Yes, a chirruping node which spontaneously warned me about neglecting the dragon restraints. I found a way to activate mechanical sentries if that's any help. Yeah, this one about the dragon restraints. Spontaneously, you say? Well, that does sound promising. Almost suspiciously so, in fact. But then you were in possession of the spirit vessel. I dare say it is indeed the node of which Graha spoke. And it was chirruping, you say? Very well, let us take a closer look. We have to go again. Let's go. Wait, why do I have to access the node now? Do you wish to operate the dragon restraint mechanisms? No! You do not have the requisite access privileges. Operation of the dragon restraint mechanisms may only be undertaken by the chief technologist and members of the royal family. Or those with a vessel full of royal blood, perhaps. I thought we were not supposed to do that. Oh my god. New user detected. Commencing biometric authentication. Authentication complete. User identified as member of the royal family. Please state your name. Laura Arda, Alfred Olivier, Estinian Wormblood. Let's go with Alfred. Yeah, it's like a prince. But that's just confusing. Amusing as you may find my name, I must ask that you use Laura Arda, please. Too late. Username changed. Welcome, Laura Arda. Seriously? You may operate the dragon restraint mechanisms when ready. Error. Unable to disengage restraints of the specimen Tiamat. A system update is required. A system update? What do you suppose it is asking of us? I could hazard a guess to smash it to pieces. Let's not smash it to pieces? Well, that's more than I can say. Confound the bloody thing. User agitation detected. Initiating guidance program. In order to operate the restraint mechanism, I require access to the central control system. However, I am unable to establish a link to said system due to the obsolescence of my own software. This issue can be resolved by applying a system update using the corresponding terminal located within the flagship. So we need to go to a terminal. So can this thing release the restraints or not? It can, but only once it has received the requisite system update, as far as I can tell. Until which time it'll float there spewing nonsense. User dissatisfaction detected, initiating implication protocols. I'm here to help. Rest assured that I will be on hand to guide you through every step of the system update process. How gratifying, but I dare say we will fare better with guidance than without it. Didn't it just explain what we need to do? Hey, but those nodes can just fly around and everything. Can't we just tell it to go to that update thingy and, you know, get an update? Adding user to terminal. This way, please. Exactly. Why don't you just go? Oh, let's go. Alright, we are at the terminal. Let's see, why can't those nodes do their own updates? Let's see, according to the terminal, the central control system is presently employing the software version 56.135. They ask which version you are employing. Why, software version 42.002, of course. Warning, errors detected in the data management system. Estimated time required for update 5 years, 1 day. Well, that takes a while. That is rather longer than we were hoping. Aren't there any other options, for instance using this terminal to operate Tiamat's restraints instead? Proposed method is indeed an option. Please be warned, however, that the procedure may have changed as a result of the system update. My instructions may no longer be accurate. Well, I can't imagine it will have changed all that much as long as we pay due attention to any discrepancies. I dare say we shall be able to muddle our way through. Don't bother trying to explain, just tell me if we've made any progress. I would say so, yes, it does, however, require that I remain here to operate the terminal. I shall inform you via link pearl once I am ready to release the shackles. Why don't we ask graha-tia to come here? I mean, he studied all that stuff, right? Might be best if you left the spirit vessel with me. I may yet have use for it. Rest assured, I will be certain to return it to graha-tia once this is over. And shouldn't we still update the node? Like maybe in case it doesn't work? Just a little more work and Tiamat will be free. But before we go any further, there was something I would know. When Tiamat and her kin fought against the Allegan Empire, both sides were but dancing to the tune of the Ascians. And it was the same in Ishgard, where they stoked the fires of conflict between man and dragon from the shadows. All that the Ascians touch turns to ash, and thus have you made it your mission to fight them. But there have been times when you tried to reach out to them instead, to find common ground. And so I must ask, what do you intend to do with Van Daniel? Will you try and reach out to him too? Enemy or no, I want to understand him. I will try, yes, and if that fails, I'll remember him. Certainly after I've wiped the smile off his face. To be honest, so far I feel like there hasn't been a single character that is just evil because he's evil, and I find it kind of weird that Daniel is like, oh, I just want to destroy the world, like, you know, for funsies. You know, this kind of like, what? It doesn't make sense, so I feel like there has to be something there. But... yeah, I mean... I don't know the reason behind it, but to be honest, I mean, the Ascians in general wanted to just destroy us, right? But did he not tell you that he was beyond reason? If he wishes to die, I say we oblige him. But perhaps that's the difference between you and me. You see the good in people, even if it be but the faintest glimmer. I only hope you do not come to rue your benevolence. You think us unwise for viewing the world thus? Far from it. That has ever been your way, as I learned when we journeyed together with Iceheart. Yet the fact remains that there are some who view compassion as a weakness to be exploited. And there may come a time when you extend the hand of friendship only to wish that you had dealt the killing blow. So save your mercy for those who deserve it. Well, we should be getting back to our task. If Elfino has things in hand here, I suggest we rejoin the others. Maybe we should tell Graha, you know, the person that actually knows the elegant. Okay, let's go back. Alrighty, we are back here. Stinian told me all is well, but nothing more. Honestly, it's like getting blood out of a stone with him. I take it from Elfino's absence that he's needed elsewhere. Oh, that all sounds rather frustrating, but you got there in the end. While you were off talking to notes, Graha and I were learning as much as we could about Tiamat's condition. Our readings confirmed that her ethereal balance leans strongly towards the umbral, as was the case with the kobolds. Therefore, all other things being equal, the treatment should work. The difficulty lies in the sheer quantity of ether with which we must contend. Multiple applications of the treatment will inevitably be required if we are to reverse the effects of the tempering completely. Meaning I'll need all the ether I can get. Thank you in advance. Although this endeavor will ask much of us, we do have one reason to be optimistic. Namely that Tiamat shows no sign of fanatical devotion, suggesting a milder case of tempering than that suffered by the kobolds. Tiamat saw Bahamut as an equal rather than a god. Might that have made a difference? Now that you mention it, it very well might. She would not have believed it necessary to defer to his will. But enough talk, it's time to put our theories to the proof. Tell Elfino to disengage the restrained ethereal dampers. Why can't we do it before she's free? I'm counting on you, Angelo. Such warmth, the frost that shroudeth my soul doth begin to thaw. But what are these? Visions of days long forgotten, of war with the men of Alec. Wherefore do such baleful memories return to me now? Could it be that the process of restoring her soul to its pre-tempered state is awakening ancient memories? Or might the opposite be true? If so, by helping her to recall the past, we may be able to speed her recovery. Lura, she trusts you. Speak to her. Ask her to tell you of times past. Tell me of Bahamut and the Asians. Tell me of your war with the men of Alec. I feel like maybe I shouldn't talk about Bahamut, otherwise she's gonna think about him, right? And then maybe she gets more tempered, I don't know. Wicked, bloodthirsty creatures, not content with their own lands. They brought fire and death. They brought fire and death to Meracidia, our home. The tale began when Bahamut and I left our father's side. We took wing in search of a place to make our eyrie. Beyond the southern ocean, we discovered a lush and fertile land. It would become to be known as Meracidia by the children of men, though many years were to pass before they crossed the seas. Aww. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed by the peaceful people of the forest, kin to the trees. Surrounded by nature's bounty, Bahamut and I had found a place to raise our young. That's cute. Fascinating. This correlates with the writings of the Charlian scholar Rurusha. She persists that man first settled on the southern continent towards the end of the Second Astral Era. Correctly, it would appear. If only she were with us to hear the tale from Tiamat herself. Again, Angelo. When first the children of men arrived on our shores, no foot did they set in those places over which we held dominion. Such was their fear of dragonkind, and as they kept their distance, so did we let them be. Yet as the days went by, ship after ship appeared upon the horizon, bearing ever more of their brethren, who divided the vast land amongst themselves. For a time they knew peace and prosperity, but as their numbers grew, the smaller their share came to seem, and soon they began to covet the territory of their fellows. Ere long, man fought man. Blood was answered with blood, and none could see an end to the strife, until one day they came to us. Recognizing our wisdom, they entreated us to intercede in their conflicts. Bahamut agreed, and with him presiding over the affairs of men, the land knew peace once more. Alas, those golden days of harmony, too, were fated to end, for the men of Alex slew my beloved, and I, in my rage and sorrow, heeded the envenomed words of the Asians. The rest thou knowest only too well. But your tale doesn't have to end there. When you are free, we'll rid the world of the Asians together. And you and your beloved will have justice. Fine sentiments, but you're almost spent. I'll keep watch from above. If the treatment fails, run. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I swear, when this is over. Keep going, LSA. The magic is working. I mean, but what else is he is he supposed to say? Like, I mean, she is spent, and so far, you know, it's not like she's cured. While I knew this wasn't going to be easy, no patient could have prepared me for treating a great worm. Well, we're close, I can feel it, and while I've only got a few more drops of ether left to give, with yours and Graha's, this will work. You know, couldn't we also do that within a few days? Like, it's not like... I mean, she's been here for the longest time, right? I mean, I'm sorry, but 5 years or something is not that bad for her, right? Or like a day or two. Then I believe I speak for both of us when I say that you may take as much as you require. Careful, I might hold you to that. Alright, here I go. I actually don't get it. Like, we're always messing around with some stupid stuff. Like, we do so much stuff for nothing. But now we're like, oh, let's drain ourselves to the bitter end. No one asks Angelo how he's doing.
Ugh, no! I'm almost there!
Why is she surprised?
This is it, Angelo!
Es lis an. Mik es tai.
Did it work?
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed.
Tosk in. Santal ankin in way.
Many have been subjected to the Allagan's dark arts, their flesh irrevocably altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
Ankin. Slosk an ol fol kail an. Slosk sed som in an. Afaten. Mon ud. Wan ein. Lis a an. Do ud an.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
She's in an enemy.
Alphino's ready. It's time. Do it. And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
Fingers crossed. Damn. This cage is so brutal. Got him.
Bahamut an esk. Ul jas. Ul asa. Fesk an.
That doesn't sound good.
By the gods!
Wait, it doesn't sound good. Except for vengeance and stuff.
Urionje, your timing could not be better. Understood, we're on our way. It's Bahamut. He's been sighted over Pagalthan.
Uh-oh.
He flies for the largest Amalta settlement in the region, at the head of a vast host, including dragons.
Did you hear all that, Alphino? You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way. Our enemy awaits. Shall we?
But I'm sure you're desperate to join the Stinian and Tiamat in battle. It would be wiser to gather the full strength of the Sounds first. The foe we face demands no less. Oh, but I wanna go. Alright, but we will do that in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like if you like what you see, and obviously subscribe if you would like to see more. I try to upload every single day. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and bye bye!